Hi everyone, this is my final presentation. My name is Tamika McKay. I am a senior psychology student and I am from Jacksonville, North Carolina. The agenda for this presentation is Section 1, Afrocentered Research with African Americans. The topics will be the relationship between Afrocentric beliefs and other variables, studies on differences between African Americans and European Americans on Afrocentric dimensions. Section 2, Strengths, Coping, and Parenting Patterns. Topics will be strength and resilience among African American families and racial socialization. Section 3 will be spirituality, religion, and well being. And the topics will be spirituality and coping with stressful events and spirituality and health. And then section 4 will cover health promotion, disease prevention, and healthcare utilization. The topics will be promotion and disease prevention and healthcare utilization patterns. The relationship between Afrocentric belief and other variables. Research that was conducted stated that Afrocentric beliefs being linked to self esteem and self worth. High Afrocentric beliefs may be linked to self esteem through involvement in positive family and community activities that promote feelings of self worth and well being. Constantine conducted a research study in which self esteem and self worth were evaluated, a test through a rating scale to determine how both self esteem and self worth may correlate. The connection that was seen was that high Afrocentric beliefs may be linked to self esteem through involvement in positive family and community activity. Also, Afrocentric beliefs may be linked to ethnic identity. The study was stating that self esteem and other variables in 147 African American adolescent girls, with the mean being age 15. In this scale was Afrocentric value scale for children and Ronsberg self esteem scale. The findings from this study indicated that greater adherence to Afrocentric culture values were predictive of higher levels of self esteem, which were perceived in social support and life satisfaction. The relationship between Afrocentric beliefs and other variables continued. Thomas, Townsend, and Belgrave used data collection from 106 African American children to examine the linkage. African American children and adjustments to school based on racial identity, self esteem, and Afrocentric values help determine links to adjustments to school related issues. High self esteem and racial identity significantly correlated with higher teacher ratings of their children. Findings indicated that Afrocentric values were associated with higher self esteem and racial identity, promoting psychosocial functioning. Other findings were that Afrocentric values in college students were found significant for correlations between cultural orientation and academic self concept. Involvement in cultural relevant school activities suggested cultural congruent behaviors. Section 2. Strength and resilience among African American families. Hill describes 5 strengths of African American families: strong achievement orientation, strong work orientation, flexible family roles, strong kinship bonds, and religious orientation. Racial socialization. This is the process in which African American parents try and socialize African American children and how to function in this society. Making children aware of their race and themselves as a black individual in America. The goal is to prepare the child for hostile environments sometime in their life. The message and behaviors that provide social hierarchy, and teach children with racial and ethnic heritage and a sense of pride. Mothers typically are the ones who influence this type of racial socialization compared to fathers. This is generally due to maternal responsiveness. Also, higher levels of education can increase likelihood of socialization. Racial socialization continued. Boykin and Tom stated that the process of socialization is related to identity. This initiated the concept that African Americans were socialized through three experiences in order to achieve racial identity. The qualifications were they had to participate in mainstream American culture, necessary skills to live in America, and achievement skills. To teach Black children about being an ethnic minority and prepare them for um, oppressive environments, which would build self confidence, and finally, it was to socialize Black children with Black cultural experiences. Things such as historical events in families would help to raise racial socialization. Section 3. Spirituality and health. Spirituality and religious beliefs are common within the Black community. The connection to these concepts helps protect individuals from effects of stress on health. There has been a link to high practices of spirituality and good health. Black religious institutions and churches provide support and expand social support network. Some studies looking at traumatic experiences for Black suggest that with spirituality, Blacks tend to be more connected to a higher power, which leads to higher levels of satisfaction. This less levels of stress and greater functioning ability. Research on the development of African Americans, particularly adolescents. This is before adulthood, chronological age from 11 to 14, 15, 16, and 17, and then early 20s. This is the vital age for Black lives, and research has done to look at hostile environments adolescents to determine limitations. Section 4. Healthcare utilization patterns. Availability within the Black community to resources affects Black communities severely. Blacks having high levels of non health care of resources limits and creates disparities that have resulted in the ACA. Barriers within the Black community are large and cause many problems. So, the program that I came up with was introducing positive self identity learning in institutions such as churches and schools by using successful Black leaders. How this will be implemented is by introducing successful Black leaders and mentors in sessions in church where many Black families practice spirituality. The Black community can expand knowledge and build Black self worth and confidence. The study group will be a group of Black adolescent teens with one on one sessions with influential Black mentors and leaders sharing positive self image. This will promote self worth and confidence. Introducing Black dances, music, literature, and activities will promote Black self image. Why? Why introducing positive activities and preventions in areas where Black community members participate? This will hopefully decrease societal racism and correct stereotypes. On teaching these concepts in the Black community can help prevail and overcome oppression. Introducing resources for help will also answer questions of the community and bring awareness. Scales and measures. Using self-esteem scale, we can measure the amounts of positive self-esteem and self-worth. Positive Black activists will promote Black excellence and Afrocentrism. This is my reference list. And these are my questions. One, what specific ways can the Black community promote more self-identity? Why do you think spirituality and religion have such a big role within the African community and self-identity? What can institutions such as schools do to promote more, to encourage the Black youth in engaging in self-positive self-concept like other races in America? And the last question, what can we do to improve access and compliance to healthcare needs and resources? And that is the completion of my presentation.